Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us this evening to discuss our early childhood education programs in this info session. We are going to give people around 5 minutes to start logging on, and then we will begin. All right, we're about 4 after, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Tonight, we will be talking about our associate and bachelor's in early childhood education programs. So hello, and thank you again for your interest in the University of Cincinnati online early childhood education, birth to age 5 programs. My name is Kayla, and I'm an enrollment advisor here at UC Online, specializing in the ECE programs. Tonight, I am joined by Kathleen Bryan, our program coordinator and associate professor for the UC Early Childhood Online programs, as well as Shamel Baxter, a workforce coordinator for the Ohio Child Care Resource and Referral Association, also known as OCCRRA, who will be discussing Teach Ohio Early Childhood Education Scholarship later in the presentation. We're glad to have you here tonight with us, and we will be going over some highlights and detailed information about our programs. So if you have any questions, there are 2 options for you tonight. You may click on the Q&A icon to open the Q&A window where you may type and submit your questions. You're also free to raise your hand and verbally ask your question. Just hit that little raise hand icon to indicate that you have a question, and then I will be able to unmute you so you may ask. So here's a little brief overview of what we'll be discussing tonight. We'll go over some program highlights, where to start, a curriculum overview, admissions requirements, application process, deadlines, and then we'll go into some financials. And then at the end, there'll also be more time for you to ask any questions. But yeah, let's get started with some program highlights. Before we jump into details, we'd like to take the opportunity to let you hear from Marcy Mason. She is a recent graduate of our bachelor's program. Marcy was nervous about going back to school, but through hard work and determination, combined with the support of her UC online family, she's now a graduate of both the associate and the bachelor's degree in early childhood education programs that we have here. Here is her story.
I think the question that's on every teacher's mind is, will I be remembered? My profession in childcare entitled me to prepare an environment for nurturing and learning for the children. As a child, I always played school, but I always felt that I always wanted to be a teacher. It can be very challenging, especially with behaviors or, one of the words that we're using now is trauma. They can't give you the words to tell you what I'm experiencing. So it's kind of like a guessing game to help us, help them. I chose to go to University of Cincinnati online to achieve my associate degree in early childhood education. I think the fear of going back to school is, what if I fail? As I reflect on my journey, UC was the only option that I had that really helped me grow in getting what I needed to become the teacher that I am. The online platform was super easy to use. It was very explainable in my terms. The online platform also allowed me to connect with other students so you don't feel alone, for what you're going through. The advisor that I had, she really pushed me. I've cried with her. She really was a very big supporter. Once I received my associate, there was no question about going on for my bachelor's again with UC. I guess when I look back on my career, I'm most proud of being able to be a part of a child's life at the beginning and seeing them grow as an adult. Because you learn from them as well. Who is that? Look how big you are. I felt like I also grew up right along with the children.
So Marcy is one of the many success stories we have from our program, and you can be too. So UC Online is proud to have start to graduation support for all of their online students. Every student enrolled in our online early childhood education program is assigned a dedicated team providing one-on-one support. So most of you, if you've already started the process, probably have spoken with one of us ESAs or enrollment service advisors. We're here to support students from initial inquiry through the application process and on to confirming your spot in the program once you're admitted. After us, we will connect you with your student success coordinator. Their role in your time at UC is to support you from confirmation through semester registration all the way to graduation. They're going to be your advocate throughout your entirety of the program and ensure that you're informed of information necessary for you to remain successful into the program all the way through completion. You'll also have an academic advisor who is there to assist you in understanding specific program requirements, academic policies, and to develop course schedules for you. This is going to be the person that helps you figure out your course plan and what that looks like for you. And then lastly, we do have our program faculty. They're highly qualified and experienced faculty to support your achievement in meeting course objectives and balancing the demand of the ECE workforce. The faculty are accessible and engage with students throughout the entirety of the program. And a common question that we often receive is, how long will it take for you to obtain your degree? There are a lot of different factors that go into answering this question, and the amount of time that it would take for you can differ from student to student based on your needs and your goals. Taking that into considerations, our programs are designed for busy and working professionals in mind. These programs are 100% online, and there is no reason you would ever be required to come to campus. If that's not something that you would like to do, you will never have to. The programs are also following an asynchronous format, which means that there are no set meeting times each week where you'll need to log on, for example, at Tuesday at 8 a.m. or anything like that. You can complete the coursework and engage with the material when you have the time. There are still due dates set by the faculty, but students can engage with their coursework when it fits best for them. UC offers 3 start dates for the year. So we do have our spring term, which begins in January, our summer term, which begins in May, and then of course the fall term, which begins in August. Each semester is 13 to 15 weeks in length. And then additionally, our program offers both part-time and full-time options. You're considered part-time if you're taking 6 to 9 credit hours, and then considered full-time if you are taking 12 or more credit hours. The average ECE student enrolls in courses part-time, taking between 6 to 9 credit hours per semester. And as you can see from the information on this slide, when you choose University of Cincinnati, you are choosing one of the best in the industry. In addition to the university being nationally recognized, the ECE program specifically has been recognized nationally as one of the best online programs in the country by thebestschools.org. These accolades are in great part due to the wonderful program faculty. With great pleasure, I would like to introduce Kathleen Bryan. Kathleen is the program coordinator for our early childhood education program, birth through 5, both the associate and the bachelor program here at the University of Cincinnati. Her responsibilities include remaining the pedagogy and the curriculum for 35 courses for all 3 semesters, that's spring, summer, and fall, supervising 30 adjunct faculty and supporting over 400 students in the program. Kathleen is the practicum coordinator, ensures that highly quality infant and toddler and preschool practicum placements for the students are possible for you. Additionally, Kathleen has led study abroad trips for ECE students interested in studying nature-based, which is one of our concentrations that we'll get into later, in England and Germany. So without further ado, I will pass it over to Kathleen.
Thank you so much, Kayla, and thank you all for being here this evening. As Kayla mentioned, we have both the associate degree and the bachelor degree programs in the online program. The associate degree is 60 credit hours, and all of our courses are 3 credit hours each. So that is works out to be 20 courses. There is a Teach Scholarship in Ohio that would cover about 90% of the tuition for the associate degree, and you'll hear about that later. There is also federal financial aid, of course. Our bachelor degree is a total of 120 credit hours. So you can see if you start in the associate degree, you're already halfway towards our bachelor degree. So the total number of courses in the bachelor degree is 40 courses, and also teach eligible. So if you have heard of the Teach Scholarship, or maybe were on the Teach Scholarship for your CDA or associate degree, we still accept the Teach Scholarship for the bachelor degree. We have articulation agreements with many community colleges across the state, so your transition into the bachelor degree program would be seamless. And of course, financial aid is available for the bachelor degree. As a reminder, the focus of both of our degrees are for people that are working with children birth to age 5 and not above. So not kindergarten or anything higher. Once you get into the associate degree, you will be able to tailor and personalize your plan with 4 different sub-plans, which I will talk about in a minute. But that way you can end up with an early childhood degree, but with a specific area of focus, such as preschool, and you'll learn about that in a few minutes. So in order to qualify for the associate degree, you have to have a high school diploma or a GED. There are no ACT or SAT scores required, and open admission if you're transferring from another institution. And again, we talked about the articulation agreements. Having a seamless transition into our program is always our goal with working with other institutions across the state. There is an associate degree scholarship that is offered from the University of Cincinnati, so we discount our associate degree. And this is why we always encourage students, even if their goal is to have a bachelor degree, that they start in our associate degree because it's less expensive and you're taking the exact same courses, the same 20 courses that are needed in the bachelor's degree. Those are the associate degree courses. So why not accept the UC's associate degree scholarship and take them for less cost. All of the courses go into the bachelor degree, and if you have a CDA that is current, could be from UC, could be from someplace else, you will get a minimum of 6 credit hours towards your associate degree. And of course, I mentioned that the Teach Scholarship is available for the associate degree. Now, if you're interested in coming in, you might already have an associate degree or credits before coming to UC, and you're interested in the bachelor degree. You have to have a 2.5 GPA if you're transferring in. Again, we don't require any ACT or SAT scores. And the good news is if you have credits from another program, let's say you started off in nursing, you could apply up to 90 credits into the early childhood program. So here is an example of one of the concentration areas that we call a subplan. So your plan will be a degree in early childhood education, but this first subplan is probably our most popular. It is the preschool subplan. And this is for people that are interested in being a lead or an assistant teacher in a preschool classroom with children ages 3 to 5, perhaps a child care center, a Head Start program, private preschool. Or we have some people that come back and want to become a curriculum specialist or a supervisor of a preschool area, and this degree would help them with that. We have 3 courses. The first 3 courses are considered our methods courses, helping you learn about the curriculum that you will be teaching to the preschoolers. And then we end with 2 separate courses that are our practicum courses. The first one is student teaching, and the second one is internship. And you would take those one after another. They're not taken together. They would be taken over 2 separate semesters, and neither one of the practicum experiences are full-time. The first one, ECE 2080, is 10 hours a week, and the preschool internship is 15 hours a week. The second subplan is in administration. In my years in the field, I realized that we can have teachers with degrees in early childhood, but if we don't have administrators that have the same background or a similar background to teachers, it's very hard for them to run a high quality program. So we created this subplan for people that are interested in administration. Again, the degree is going to be the same. It's going to be early childhood education, but this subplan focuses on people interested in being an administrator or a director, again, at a child care center, Head Start, preschool, family child care program type A or type B. And the courses, there's no practicum in this subplan, but throughout these courses, you will be shadowing other administrators in other centers. So you can learn from other leadership styles and what other directors are doing. The third subplan is the infant toddler subplan. And just like the preschool that's focused on children ages 3 to 5, the infant toddler program is subplan is focused on people working with children birth to age 3. And you'll notice there are 5 courses that are part of this subplan. I need to back up, and I should have said this earlier, but out of those 20 courses that are part of our associate degree, basically 15 courses are the same no matter what subplan you end up with. It's the subplan that ends up with the 5 courses then that are unique to your focus area. So even if you don't know what subplan you want to be in at the beginning, you're fine. The first 15 courses are pretty much the same. It's these 5 courses that are unique. In this case, to the infant toddler pedagogy and area of curriculum. There are 4 methods classes here, ending with just 1 practicum, and that's ECE 4055. And again, that is 10 hours a week that you would be in an infant or toddler classroom during 1 semester. People that take this subplan are people that are interested in being a lead or an assistant, again, in an infant or toddler classroom at a child care center, or even specifically at an early Head Start where the focus is on children birth to age 5, as well as curriculum specialists or other areas of supervision. And lastly, our newest subplan is our nature-based early learning subplan. This is specifically focused on people that want to spend a lot of time outside with children birth to age 5. And as Kayla mentioned, I have led some study abroad trips. This is very popular in many other countries and is really making its way to the United States, where families are choosing to have a early childhood program where their children are spending large parts of the day, maybe up to 75 to 80% of the day outside, doing their center time, doing their lunchtime, doing their nap time. And so we have created this subplan that has the specific courses in how to do all the things that are in the other subplans that maybe can then be taken outside. This also has 1 practicum, and that is ECE 3070, which is Interpreting Nature with Young Children. That is our practicum course. And again, it's about 10 hours a week for 1 semester. There's a wide range of job possibilities for this subplan. Maybe you would like to work in a nature center preschool, completely focused on nature, or there are zoo schools or forest schools, for example, where children spend part of their day in the woods or the forest. But we also accept people that are interested in working at a museum center or other kind of non-traditional places of employment. But these courses are available as electives for everyone if they're interested in greening up their existing playgrounds or creating a playscape at your existing child care center. So there are 5 curriculum courses in this subplan and 1 practicum. So I wove in how practicum works in my overview of the subplans, but just as a review, the infant toddler is 1 semester with 10 hours a week. The preschool is 2 separate semesters, 10 hours a week for the first one. The second semester is 15 hours a week, and nature base is about 10 hours a week as well. You can do your practicum where you are employed as long as your center is highly rated or accredited. Currently in Ohio, and I know there's people on this call that might not be from Ohio. So we would look into what your rating scale is in the state that you are coming from and figure out what highly rated means. In Ohio, we have a bronze, silver, and gold rating. As long as your center is silver or gold rated, you could do your practicum at your place of employment. Also, if your center is NAEYC accredited, or we accept a couple other accreditations, you will also be able to do your practicum at your place of employment. And you do not have to have any loss of wages while doing your practicum. You will be able to get paid during those practicum hours. The only practicum course that actually leads to a license, and specifically the Ohio Pre-K associate license, is the preschool practicum. So if the license is important to you, the preschool subplan is the one that you would want to choose. And the second course, ECE 2085, the one that's 15 hours a week, is the specific course that would allow me to recommend you for the Ohio Pre-K associate license. As a reminder, this license does not allow you to teach kindergarten or above. It's just a license to teach preschool. And with the practicum, you will be preparing for your practicum site by working with a practicum coordinator that will be collecting all kinds of paperwork to make sure that the place that you are intending to do your practicum at is highly rated. We collect your medical and background checks and some other paperwork that's done the semester prior to practicum. And you'll know that you are ready for practicum because your advisor will be meeting with you every semester and let you know when you are ready to be enrolled in the practicum preparation site the semester before your actual practicum. Thanks, Kayla.
All right, thank you so much, Kathleen. Now that we've talked about curriculum, I'd like to just quickly go over the admission requirements for this program. Applicants for our programs can fall into two categories. They're either first-year students or transfer students. So a first-year student is somebody that has never attended college. Admissions to our associate's degree is open to first-year students with a high school diploma or a GED. To apply, you will complete the free online application form, and then you will request official high school transcripts or your GED certificate to be sent to the University of Cincinnati undergraduate admissions. If you're a senior currently finishing up your high school degree, you'll need to request a mid-year official transcript or an in-progress official transcript to be sent from your high school to us. A transfer student is a student who has attended another institution. Admission to our associate's degree is open to transfer students. A 2.5 GPA is required from your previous institutions to be admitted into the bachelor's program. Again, to apply, you will just complete the free application form, and then you'll request the official transcripts from all institutions that you have previously attended before coming to UC, and you'll have those sent to our University of Cincinnati undergraduate admissions. For transfer students with high school degrees, you're only required to turn in those high school degrees if you have less than 24 college credits after graduating high school. If you have above that, you'll only need to request the ones from all of the institutions after high school. And then just going a little bit more into transfer students, if you have attended another higher education institution, our program is extremely transfer friendly. So students can transfer credits towards their coursework taken at any regionally accredited college or university. You have the potential to apply up to 40 credits from previous coursework towards your associate's degree and up to 90 credits from previous coursework towards your bachelor's program. Students who have completed their CDA, as Kathleen mentioned earlier, you can earn 6 credit hours towards your degree. To determine what credits will transfer, you must first apply to the program. Once you're admitted, you'll submit a petition for transfer credits to be applied towards your degree. Here at UC, we also have some articulation partnerships. We have 15 with other community and technical college partners. Students admitted to our bachelor's program coming from a partner institution will be granted automatic transfer credit from their associates towards their bachelor's degree. So as Kathleen mentioned earlier, those first 20 courses would be completed for you, and then you would just have those remaining 20 courses to complete your bachelor's program. As you can see here, the fall 2025 application deadline is on July 1st. So if you have not already ordered your transcripts yet, now is the time. All required transcripts must be received by UC's Office of Undergraduate Admissions prior to the application deadline. Ordering and processing transcripts can take some time. We do suggest you give yourself at least 3 weeks for those to be processed and for us to receive those. When requesting your transcripts, be sure to ask for the confirmation number and the receipt for the tracking number, just so we're able to track those down as ESAs and make sure that we can have those in time for the deadline. Once you've applied and been accepted to the program, you will have until August 1st, so a month later, to confirm your offer into the program. So both of these programs are financial aid eligible through the federal financial aid. You must be enrolled in at least 6 credit hours per semester to be eligible for the FAFSA. If you are eligible for military benefits, please contact your regional VA representative to determine if your benefits will cover the program. We also do have some resources and a contact over here for military benefits if that is of interest to you. Tuition payment plans are also available. And then we do have unique financial support offered by OCCRRA to the early childhood educators in Ohio. Now I'd like to hand it off to Shamel, who will go in more detail about the Teach Scholarship and how it is offered through OCCRRA.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Shamel. I'm the workforce coordinator at OCCRRA, and also I'm a scholarship counselor as well. So we're just kind of going to go over the Teach Scholarship. So it's for early childhood educators can earn Associates of Applied Science or Bachelors of Art in Early Childhood Education. There are benefits to the program, so it's a three-way partnership in this scholarship process. So it's Teach Ohio, the scholar, and then it's your employer. Each partner provides benefits to each other. So there is an eligibility for the scholarship. You may be eligible for assistance with college credits if you are a type A family child care provider, a type B, a teacher, assistant teacher, director, or owner. You must be employed at a licensed child care center, which is the ODJFS legacy license. You must work at least 30 hours per week with children birth to 5. You must agree to stay at your center at least 1 year after completing the scholarship or completing a contract. You must be at your center for 90 days before you can apply. You already can't have a degree. So if you already have an associate's in an unrelated field, we can't pay for another associate's. If you're going for your bachelor's, your associate's degree must be in early childhood education or related field. Sometimes we'll do child development as well. Um, to apply, the application is now in your OCCRRA registry. So you want to go into applications, hit on teach, and then application should open up for you. We're going to go over the support for the scholarship. So how the scholarship works is all your Pell Grants and other scholarships is applied first. Whatever left, teach will cover the rest so that you won't have to take out any loans or anything like that, not unless you want to or need to. We pay 90% of your tuition. You would pay 5% of your tuition, and then your center pays 5% of your tuition. We pay up to 80% of books. You pay 10%, and your employer pay 10%. We offer a $100 travel stipend that is automatically applied, so it helps cover the scholar's 5% of tuition. You will get paid release time. This is a time for you to come outside the classroom and work on anything pertaining to your classes. You still get paid your normal rate of pay. We'll reimburse the center $12 an hour. And then at the end, if you complete 9 credit hours on a contract, so a contract is for a year, you go 3 terms. If you complete 9 credit hours in those 3 terms, we give you a $300 bonus, and then your center has to choose to give you a $300 bonus or a 2% raise. We are doing a one-time laptop reimbursement up to $1,500. So if you decide to do the scholarship, you're on an active teach contract and you're going to school and you buy a laptop, we can reimburse you at the end of the semester up to $1,500. It's a little stipulation to that as well. Else? I think that's pretty much the basics of it all. We do a practicum scholarship. So if you do student teaching or your student practicum hours, we do have a separate scholarship for that as well that will give you those 10 hours a week, and we will pay you at your rate of pay instead of the $12 an hour. So we now are accepting applications for fall semester. Summer just started, so we're always accepting applications for fall. Like I said, it's located in your OCCRRA registry under applications. If you're eligible, it should open up for you. If you're not eligible, that means your role is either a floater or something, program management not used in ratio, extracurricular. And then you also want to make sure that your high school education is verified because that application won't open without it. That's pretty much it.
All right, thank you, Shamel. Now is the time to open up the floor to any questions. While you are thinking of questions, you can save this web page here that will take you directly to the application form. It'll most likely ask just some basic personal background information and whether you're a first year or a transfer student. So yeah, now I'd like to open the floor. If anybody has any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat or raise your hand. I'm not seeing any hands raised, so I will move on. I do just want to thank everybody so much for being with us this evening. A recording of this session, as well as a copy of the presentation, will be shared with you via email. It will be this email address that you use to register for this info session. Remember, we are here and we are available to answer any questions, so please do not hesitate to reach out via any of the contact information that's listed here. Feel free to take a picture of it. Yeah, we hope you have a wonderful evening and the rest of your week, and we hope to hear from you soon.